result will be a stadium. But the question will be is when, because I don't believe
18-19 they're still shooting for, I believe.
Which means what? Which does this mean that next year or this year is going to be? Nobody's answered me this. I put it out on Twitter. When's our last year at White Hart Lane? If this thing in 3 weeks.
Well, you would assume that 17-18 would be the season we would not play at the Lane.
Okay, all right. So fair enough. So I've got one more year to take my boys officially to.
That's my goal. I've taken my eldest Spencer. It's on my bucket list for the three of us to go and see a game at the Lane.
Yeah, we should all arrange that together. Okay, sorry. That's
why I've basically hawked everything that I own to go, because I want to see that place and the lamppost and all
that.
Well,
and I think everyone will say when we know, when the finality happens, that here's the timeline of the new stadium, the last season of White Hart Lane, you know everyone around the world will want something of that stadium. However they auction it off, we've seen it with old baseball stadiums here, whether it be old Yankee Stadium, whether it be Texas Stadium before the Cowboys moved west. That stuff to the diehard fans is important. You want a piece of that memorabilia. I personally don't want a plastic seat because they are the worst seats in the world. But there's got to be something at White Hart Lane that you'd want to have as a piece of memorabilia. But for me, it's the memories, and I think for any probably Spurs fan, it's those who've been there, pre-development in the Premier League era when the stadium held a lot more than it can hold now.
Yeah.
It's just those memories of, and again, you're going to see that, Ken, and I can't wait to show you around and let you suck that in and
I can't wait.
Chew up a few boxes of Kleenex. But
2.5 months, man. It's creeping up.
Donnie, get me tissue.
I'll have my own. Shut up.
So Daniel, if you're listening, mate, you are in for some rude awakening when we come over. But it will be a sad day. But I don't think anyone is too sentimental that they're going to miss it that much. We know in the day of modern football and in light of the new Premier League TV deal that progress is. It's part of the modern era of football, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
You can't stand in the way of progress, and we know a new stadium is critical to the success of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But we can't be on the peripheral anymore. We've got to be continually challenging for top four, if not the title, and silverware. We've been starved of success for many, many years now. And a new stadium is going to be the catalyst to our future success.
I agree.
Come on, you Spurs.
And Simon, along those lines, and I know we've done an hour and a half without even having any guests, but to that end, this guy, Kentish Spurs, at Smiffy THFC1612, how I got told to F off by this Harold Hotspur was because he just said, oh, am I the only one that's absolutely gutted that Archway won this or lost this CPO case? And I said, are you really sad that we're getting a new stadium? And he genuinely was, and he thinks it's going to be, a plastic environment, everybody with selfie sticks and taking selfies, and I just try to explain to him. I mean, my view on this was, look, I understand where you're coming from, but the game is changing, and you can't just sit here and say, I want the old game, I want the old game. It's as you said, Chairman, it's not the old game.
And it's not the first time that the stadium's been re-expanded.
We can't change it.
No, you can't, and you can, but there's ways to have a beautiful stadium and preserve a great feel. I mean, Dortmund's got a huge stadium, right? But look how wonderful it is, the environment that place is. So,
well, we talked about having that terrace stand that it was in the original architectural plans to have that, and I think that would be awesome because
the shelf, right? Is that what you're talking about? The shelf?
No, I think it was on one of the ends. I'm not sure if it was Paxton or Park Lane, but to have one continual cop-like terrace, very similar to what Dortmund has, very dissimilar to what the Empty Crates has.
Yeah,
that would add that atmosphere, and if that is the one stand where all the atmosphere comes out of,
right, so
be it, because we know we've got a waiting list of 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Tottenham is not a fly-by-night club that's going to not fill up their stadium.
And do you believe that ENIC doesn't care about atmosphere?
No. Levy's a fan. He's a fan. I think he genuinely cares about the atmosphere.
I mean, we're making a leap of faith, but I agree.
ENIC as a whole, I don't know, but I think Levy does.
I think so too. I mean, Simon, do you think that they're going to just build a soulless, Emirates-like place?
I think they know that because so many soulless stadiums have been created, that they want to do their very best to ensure that doesn't happen. You know, I've been to the new training ground. I've been to the old training ground. And you know what? There is a detachment of the family of the club with the new stadium, the new training ground. But I get it. You know, the players do need to train without the distraction of someone and their family watching them, and I get that. So it is state of the art. It's fantastic if you ever have the opportunity to go out there. And Chigwell was, the old Spurs Lodge was kind of like the last hangover of what it used to be like, but those facilities were not what a club of our standing needed to have. And you know, we've been the envy of many Premier League club with that new training ground and new facility, and now we need a stadium to match it.
I mean, I hate making this podcast go longer, but what happened to that ground? Did we give it to another football club, or?
I do believe that it has been given to the local council for them to be able to do things with the schools, but Spurs still have some rights there because they had a dome for indoor for the younger kids. That they may still have some access to that, even though they've got great indoor facilities at the new place.
Simon, that would imply that we actually do something for the good of the community. Are you sure about that?
We absolutely.
That's what the whole Northumberland Development Project.
Well, I agree. I was being tongue in cheek there, but
yeah, but you know, I only ever went to Chigwell twice. I know a lot of our listeners probably have gone a dozen times or more, but and going to the new stadium, it is a bit Fort Knox like, and you can't take photos and you can't talk to people when you're there. But you know, it's a professional football club, and we'd love it to be a bit lovey-dovey like it used to be in the past, where you'd bump into players down the pub. And those days are gone, and I'm kind of a realist in the real world, and as much as I want to see football like it's probably played in the Championship or in non-league football where you can body slam people at Worcester City.
That was so great.
If you haven't seen that video, go find it.
Oh yeah, Worcester City, I suppose, right?
Yeah, Worcester, was it Stockport?
Worcester City.
I'm not sure who they were playing, but what a fantastic tackle.
It was a cynical tackle, and then what a body slam.
Check body slam.
Think they're going to do that again? No, I don't think so.
But anyway, so, you know, we got to move on. We got to progress.
I agree.
And, you know, it's going to create a bunch of plastics. It's inevitable. We have to ask ourselves, do we want to be a mid-table team and ride on the successes of years past from 20 years ago? No. I've been a fan for over 40 years. I've seen us as a great cup team in the 80s and the 70s, and we've been starved of success. And I'm not saying we need to go sell our soul to the devil, although, you know, that Qatari consortium could inevitably be that. I believe that we need to progress the club to challenge this top four, if you so want to call it that way. Yeah. Liverpool aren't the team they were in the 70s and the 80s. They're on the outside looking in. It's United, it's City, it's Chelsea and Arsenal. They still have the stranglehold. They're doing it right now, right? They're the top four. So, you know, United, are on the peripheral, but at the same point, we need to be knocking on the door saying, hey, don't forget about us, because we're in this game as well.
Yep.
So Southampton, they haven't got the chops for the long run. They will fade away. Everton have proved that, you know, they can't sustain. We still can, and we got a new gaffer and love him to death, and I enjoy what he's doing. And, you know, we haven't played particularly well the last three games, but we're seventh and we're within 4 points of a Champions League spot. So it's all to play for, mate.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we have such a young squad. We now have this, you know, youth development program that's going to be pretty much second to none as far as the EPL is concerned. With that young squad, it gives us a lot of time to develop, right? And get this youth system thing going and bring the kids in that we want to bring in and make them the next Nabil Bentalebs and Ryan Masons and hopefully Harry Kanes of the world. I think it's going to be awesome. You know, the future's bright, and it's definitely lily white.
Lily fucking white, mate.
Oh, wow.
stinging my ears.
Okay, very quick public service announcement. Plano ISD is closed tomorrow. And on that note, Kenny...
England 300 for 7.
Oh,
5 balls left.
I just
do they have foul balls?
They're really not playing Scotland, are they? All right, listen, enough of this. Enough of this craziness. This insanity has to end. Kenny and Simon, too. Get in there, son.
Let's go watch the Oscars.
Oh, God. And for the rest of you lot, be kind to one another, unless the other guy's wearing red.
Wankers.